Unified Radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
It's another Thursday night, which means another harrowing episode of Docking Bay 94, Season 11, Episode 46, As If You're Counting. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Solo Donoho.
And no Colleen tonight. Colleen is not feeling well, so we gave her the night off.
Yeah.
But the robot says it's Docking Bay 94, so it must be true.
That's right.
Woo-hoo.
I would hope so.
Oh, my gosh. Let me see.
Goes.
I actually got something done on my car today. I feel worthwhile. It's hard, though. I cut my steering wheel down. And so I'm putting the joystick handle things, the flight yoke part of it, on my steering wheel. And this is more complicated than it has been in the past, because usually it's just a steering wheel coated in rubber with maybe leather over top of it. But in this case, this is a heated steering wheel. So it's got a layer of padding that has wires running through it. So that when you turn on the heater, basically the wires heat up and voila, hot steering wheel. I don't really care that much about the hot steering wheel. But it's making things difficult.
I would guess so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all right. It's going all right.
Yeah.
We're all fine here now, thank you. But at least I got something done.
That's cool.
I showed you a test picture.
Yeah.
I sent you one, and I think that's pretty much how it's going to go. So yeah. And then I helped our friend Bino with his luggage.
Okay.
So you know that handle that pulls out of your luggage?
Yes.
That retracts into it?
Yeah.
His snapped on his luggage, but not the handle part that you hold. The support part inside the luggage broke. Somebody jumped up and down on it or threw something sharp and heavy on it. It's really weird. So we fixed that and went to lunch at a place called I Heart Mac and Cheese and More. It's pretty funny. So it's a place kind of over where the Coffee Bean used to be. That's just like macaroni and cheese and related stuff.
Yeah.
So tater tots, that kind of thing. You know what I need to do?
That's cool.
That I haven't done yet.
Oh.
Is I need to start the chat. So that
the ones where you can catch up on it. Our chat across the whole thing.
Our chat for the show.
Yeah.
And
so I see Alan on YouTube, Dawn, Lisa, and Fallon Thorne on Twitch, and I don't see anybody on Facebook yet. Maybe I need to reload it or something, but I don't see anyone.
Kelly's on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
She says, "Donde está Colleen?"
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now I see. My Facebook is going slow apparently. Then
Colleen no bueno.
Yeah.
She's just no good. No, she's not feeling well. Yeah. So no Colleen tonight, sadly. Yeah. We have our little two up here, just the two of us. Just the two of us. But no Colleen. We gave her the night off. If she feels better, she can come back. Or she can luxuriate in having the night off.
Just relax.
Yeah, she had a day. And she's got not quite a migraine, but like a headache. She's feeling poopy. So
yeah, it
happens.
I understand.
Hey, and there's Pat Larson. Hi, Pat. And there's Lori.
Cool.
Just a quick shout out, Chaz Boston Baden, who is our friend, who is co-founder of Anime Los Angeles, and also big in the fan-run convention circuit. Pat and myself and Colleen and Chaz all used to work together doing the newsletter and stuff. Chaz went into the hospital yesterday, and he had a procedure that we saw him in the evening, and he's doing great. So I know I mentioned him on the morning show that he was going to go do this. He's actually doing quite fine. He was
good.
pretty cheerful when we saw him yesterday. So
Just glad he's feeling good anyway.
Yeah, he's down by Chalk. He's at Providence St. Joseph's or something. And,
okay. Yeah, right down just down for me, actually.
Right, real close to you. Yeah. So we drove down there last night to say hey.
Oh, okay.
And see how he was doing. Okay. And he's great, which makes us happy. So.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, Liz. And thank you, Liz. She my sister-in-law subscribed for 2 months.
Ooh, thanks.
Tier 1.
And she said she was very excited to that the show was going to happen this week. So
yeah.
Yay! And I said we would say hi. Hi, lots of hi. All the hi. Hey, and while we're talking about like people supporting us, we are at a pretty good level of Muppet Studebaker donation. So we've got this GoFundMe, and so the GoFundMe's been going on for like 3 years, and I just started to revive it, and I just found a thing where you can do something like this where they don't like take any money out. It's like, oh man, where was that when I was setting this up? Because I looked for that and it didn't exist. But anyway, we have $4,409.
Wow.
And we have a car that we're looking at that is $8,500. And so if you don't know what this project is, this is where we is largely Jeff and I, pretty much, are going to take a 72-year-old car. Yeah. We're going to make it look like the one that's in the Muppet movie that Fozzie's uncle left to him while he was hibernating. And we want to do the Electric Mayhem paint job on it, which is the big galaxy crazy paint job. And the idea is we're going to do with this what we do with Star Wars, where we're going to go to like hospitals and schools and libraries and stuff, and we're going to perform the Muppets out the windows of the car, which would be good. So that'll be our base of operations. And then in a perfect world, if we get all the funding we want, we're going to have a Muppet workshop in the trunk that works like Mr. Potato Head. So a kid can come up, grab a body, put on eyes and a nose and hair or whatever, a hat, and they can come play with us while we're in the car, and they could be outside the car, and they can have a puppet, and we can have a puppet. We just all just goof off. So that's the plan. And we let it go dormant during COVID because, honestly, people had other things to worry about.
A little bit.
But, my gosh, and some of these people, our friend Amy donated way too much money.
I saw that. Well, wow.
She donated like $500.
Yeah.
And
I've seen people that I believe, like, and I'm pretty sure that one of the people that donated was the guy that runs this coffee shop that's up in like LA that I did a Ghostbuster thing for like a couple years ago.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm pretty sure he donated. I was like,
we have a couple of
those people. It's amazing.
We have a couple of anonymous people who did it, and I mentioned Anime LA, and that Chaz was co-founder of Anime LA. The other co-founder was Christian McGuire.
Oh,
and
okay.
he donated to us, which is really great. And a buddy of mine from high school donated $38.
Wow.
And did he donate $38 because that's what the fees are gonna be when whatever GoFundMe does whatever they're gonna do, or is he like being a smartass? I just can't tell.
Liz, it is still going. Yeah. It's it goes until until we shut it off. It goes or it reaches the goal?
It goes till we reach the goal, or forever really. But I think in reality what we're going to do is when we get the puppets and we get the car, once we've achieved that goal, because that's really what this is for. Once we've achieved that goal, we'll go do Patreon or something else and do that. Because I don't want people to do this with my Star Wars car. Like the way Jeff wouldn't, because these are the cars that we drive every day, Star Wars cars and stuff. This is different. This is like specifically a charity project. That's all we're going to use it for. Is going and doing charity awareness and charity events and stuff. So that we felt comfortable kind of doing this fundraiser. Yeah, I'm just completely cheered by the fact that people have donated, and I did send a note to the guy who owns the car. I'm waiting for
Okay.
him to respond back because I said, hey, what do we need to do to reserve the car? Because I don't want him to sell it from under us, which would be bad.
I see.
And it needs a little work. It turns out like just about every Studebaker I've ever looked at, except the one that we took a test drive in.
Yeah.
Every Studebaker I've looked at has had a rusty trunk. And this one is no exception. The
It's
trunk
an
is
old
like
car,
completely rusted through. But you would expect
Yeah.
something like that from 70 years.
Yeah, totally.
But it seems to run. And I love that he's like, his name's James. He's like, and I have a spare transmission that I will include with the car. I'm like, what do we do with a spare transmission?
Yeah.
No idea.
As from what I read, it was they thought the transmission was a problem before, but it wasn't, so they got another transmission. So
Yeah, so it was
transmissions.
pretty funny. Anyway, we're super excited about this,
Yeah.
and I'm coming to grips with actually asking people for money, which is hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do, and it sort of goes against everything that I was raised to do. But I really want this to happen. So
I've been posting like every day.
me too.
All the stuff I can post on, and I don't know what else I can do.
I've been doing a Fozzie car update of the day and trying to do something cool. We talked about the Star Wars connection with the parades at Walt Disney World that uses Studebaker for Star Wars.
Yeah.
They turned it into a land speeder. It's pretty funny. Muppet merchandise and stuff. And yeah, so, but I'll admit, it's hard to come up with like, okay, what does this have to do with anything?
Exactly. Thank you, Liz.
Right.
Liz donated some money.
Oh my gosh, thank
That's
you.
awful nice. Thank you.
Yeah, Kelly, definitely probably going to do a YouTube channel on it. And as we work on it, it'll probably have its own Instagram, its own Facebook page, and probably a YouTube channel. I don't really do that very well with my Star Wars cars, but I think this one will be better. Because people don't always get the Star Wars car, but people know the Muppets. And so, and with this new Muppet show that came out, Muppet Mayhem, which is really good, by the way, I think people will have a better grip on that. So,
open invite to bring Muppets to Upland Library, says Alan.
totally. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. And we had a long discussion yesterday. So, Lynn, Chaz's wife,
Okay.
used to work at the Yorba Linda Library,
Yeah.
and she used to work the reference desk. And
Okay.
she retired.
Yeah, I remember Liz.
Yeah. Lynn. And so she retired.
Sorry.
And
I remember.
and we talked to her about what was going on with Rancho, with Upland, and all of that kind of stuff. And so, and a lot of people are pretty excited for Star Wars in October over in Upland. So it'd be great.
Sweet.
Let's see. So Jeff and I were both at the Yorba Linda Library this past weekend. We put our cars on display, along with Brent had his Star Wars car on display. He's got is it a 1977 FJ?
I think so.
He calls it the FJ Wolf, and it's painted up to look like Sabine's style of paint.
Yeah, the TIE Fighter paint job that she did.
Yeah, so that was super cool. So we had those 3 cars on display. We do like usual things with them. So there's like a puppet show that they do, which is really fun. There's usually green eggs and ham is like our tradition. So I get to read green eggs and ham. Half is Obi-Wan, half is Yoda. Yoda is for green eggs and ham. Obi-Wan is against green eggs and ham.
Of course. Yeah.
It's Obi-Wan's just not very adventurous. What can I say? And then we did lightsaber training. And oh my gosh, we had a stage with like 6 other Jedi. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody was super cool. I'm really grateful that they jumped in and did that with me. And we just had fun. We goofed off. It was a good day. And then I came home and crashed. I don't know if you did anything that evening, but was that the prom that night?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were busy that night.
I was the I was the chauffeur. to the prom, and then picking up from. They went to the prom, and then they left prom at a certain time. Aubrey went to pick them up and drop them off at a theater, so they could watch the Mario movie.
Oh, well, that was
Mario
interesting.
Brothers movie, yeah. And then I picked them up from there and dropped them off everywhere. And
Is that was something the entire class did? They all went to see the Mario movie, or just
Well, I mean,
some
they
people from
did.
prom?
Yeah, just Sparrow and Sparrow and the two friends. I don't know if anyone else had gone, but they did. Yeah. But that was my Saturday.
Wow.
But I was pretty busy all weekend.
I was supposed to do a thing Saturday night that I really wanted to do, which was SoFi Stadium, which you might remember from the Super Bowl a couple years ago when the Rams won the Super Bowl. The Rams are based out of there. The Chargers are based out of there. It's a big, brand new stadium that they built on what used to be Hollywood Park, the old casino and racetrack, horse racing track.
Yeah.
And so it's big and new and gorgeous and whatever. And so somebody rented it. There's a guy who goes around the country renting venues like this, and they do like the world's biggest Nerf battle ever. And
Oh yeah.
and so, you pay $25 or $30. You go in with your gear, and everybody, it's like battle royale. It's everybody, shoots everybody, and Nerf all over the place. And you go in with ammo, you leave with ammo, not your own ammo, but you leave with ammo. And it was my neighbor Dustin was going. He wore his Ram DeLorean costume, which is basically a Rams uniform with Mandalorian accents. And so he went and did that. He said a whole bunch of people came dressed as Halo, as Master Chief in that armor, and did Nerf battling, which was great. He didn't say if there were any other Star Wars people there. And I was going to go to this. I thought this would be fun. And I popped my rib in my rib cage. I like bent over. I did a thing. It went ping, which is a sound really your body ought not to make. And,
especially at that high tone.
Right, and that was it. So I clobbered myself Saturday doing the lightsaber stuff, and I just came home and I crashed. I'm like, not doing the Nerf
I understand.
thing, which made me sad because I really, really wanted to do it. And I got a report today from Dustin. He's like, yeah, it was fun.
Cool. Lisa, there's always next year. They're going to do it next year too, at the library.
Oh, totally.
So you can plan for that one.
Well, and Kelly invited us to her library too to do Muppet stuff or whatever. So
And for Star Wars, and then there's this one in October that's Upland, whatever. So
Star Wars Reads is in October, and I think that's when we're doing it. But we're starting to plan for that, so we shall see.
Hi, Laura. So
well, I'm glad that Sparrow's prom went well.
Yeah, it seemed to be pretty good. On Friday, we went to the Carlsbad Flower Fields, which I'm not sure exactly who owns it. I think that it's maybe sponsored by or partially owned maybe by Armstrong, but I don't think they actually own it.
Well,
But
it's
a
just
gigantic
below.
field.
It's just below Legoland, right?
Yeah.
Because we
It's
always
like you
we
can
always
see the
pass it
hotel,
when we
yeah.
take the back way into Legoland.
Yes.
So,
And I didn't know it was that big. It is enormously. It is like football fields of flowers. It's just, quarter mile or something worth of flowers.
well, it's because from the
it's
road, I
huge.
think the only thing you can see, they usually have an American flag made out of flowers, and that's what I usually see from the road. And you're like, oh, well, that's nice, and then you don't realize that it keeps going.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing. Yeah, and they'll probably that may be what they plant next, because the flowers that were growing there this time around, they start dying off, and they basically mow them all down, take them out, and plant up new.
Well, apparently they've been doing well enough that they're extending it through this weekend.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's because of all the rain too.
yeah, that's what I mean.
That's why.
pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah, here it is. It's a 300 by 170 foot hillside that is a American flag of flowers.
Oh, the flag. Yeah. But
Yeah.
like when they use up the entirety of the field is like even bigger. Like it is really lengthy.
That's crazy.
You know.
Well, that's what I always
the,
see from the road is the thing.
Yeah.
Did
So
you visit Santa's playground?
I mean, we walked in there and not much to it. You know, there's some stuff there in a place that apparently I'm guessing when it's Christmas time,
It's
that
better.
they Santa's probably there at a like thing. You know.
I love
David's here.
I love
yeah.
marketing people. Because the marketing people always have these big write-ups to sort of pump things up.
Yeah.
And so this says, visit Santa's playground, home to whimsical playhouses and gigantic mushrooms. Children and adults will delight in the guard shack.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, a guard shack? Wow.
So let me see if I can
Pretty funny stuff.
share this to the thingy. Come on. Oh, I gotta wait for my phone. Boop.
I remember going to the flower fields where they were getting the flowers for the Cal Poly Pomona Rose Parade float. And that was super impressive. This reminds me a bit of that, except that was purely functional. They like raised the flowers, they cut them down, they glued them to the float.
Exactly.
But there was a pizza trolley. Let me get to... you put these in DB94?
I sent you a couple, like 2 of them that you can see. But
excellent.
Oh, this is a big one. So they had a place you could also go if you wanted to. There it goes. If you wanted to, they had 3 different varieties of blueberries. So that gives you an idea how enormous it is. That's only one field length. There's like several field lengths of that.
Wow.
So I'm in the between like 2 field lengths. That's at one end. This is from the top of it going down.
That's pretty cool.
Down towards the front of the place. Yeah. So you could go and pick for, I think it was $8. For $8 you get a little basket and you can go and pick blueberries.
Nice.
You know. And they had like, I think it was 4 different varieties, maybe more, but I think it was 4 different varieties they had growing in there. And it was neat. They also had a little coffee plant grove, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so they grow their own coffee and they sell it. So we actually had some. We bought some.
Cool.
Yeah, and they also have a orchard of olive trees that they and they make their own olive oil from that and sell that. And there was some and like that last picture I think I sent was just one of the sunflower fields. But yeah, and then of course there was like there's a flower maze you can go in. And such, and they had a like what was it? There's a greenhouse. One of the greenhouses had several varieties of orchids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, plant, but you know, it's still pretty cool. You know, so
excellent.
Yeah, very nice. I thought I'd be having super allergy problems, but apparently I was fine. So you know,
oh, cool. Fine is good.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. That was on Friday. Saturday was the library of the prom, and then Sunday, we actually went to the Ren Fair for a few hours. Had like Owen had some complimentary tickets.
Wow. Okay.
And so Owen went and took Aubrey to do stuff for Mother's Day somewhere else. I think the original plan was the Ren Fair, but I don't think Aubrey wanted to go to that on Sunday probably from just being worn out from other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we went around like, I think we got there really pretty late. We got there like about 4:00, and the Ren Fair closes at 7 or so. Mm-hmm. So we got about 3.5 hours.
All right. Was it any kind of special day, or was it just Ren Fair day?
Just Ren Fair. Okay. So you know we got dressed up, so to speak, and went up and wandered around the fair and such, and saw a couple shows, and you know had some drinks and snacks, and that's, you know. got a couple things and then whatnot, but it's like, oh, what do I get? What are these? Oh, that's far too expensive. Yeah, no, it was like, insanely priced merchandise. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
some people were selling actually decently, but they're like price things that made sense. Like Sparrow got a little arrowhead for $1, and then the guy gave her a cord to put it in. I'm like, a ribbon would have been easier because it was a small little bit arrowhead,
Mm,
but he gave us like a leather cord, like for free, basically.
that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, and that was it, and came back and
Very cool.
ah,
Well, Colleen did an interesting thing this weekend, and
ouch.
she'll tell you more about it next week. But
Yeah.
she went to, I guess it's the Gary Marshall Theater now. It used to be called the Falcon Theater, and it's across from the Bob's Big Boy in Burbank.
Yeah.
Colleen and I saw a one-woman play on Edith Head there once, which was pretty good, and it's a nice little theater, and they have a courtyard,
Yeah.
and in the courtyard they did a tea, which try to keep Colleen away from a tea, and the draw for the tea, the entertainment was an improv of Jane Austen. So like the
Oh,
audience gave the story scenario elements, and then this cast of people who were playing Jane Austen era characters
okay.
would then interact based on those guidelines and create a Jane Austen atmosphere. And so she said it
Cool.
was pretty fun. I'll let her give you all the specifics next week, but
Cool.
she seemed to have a pretty good time
Yeah.
doing that.
That's nice. That sounds good. I think so. The Ren Fair we went to was the main one, the pleasure fair up in Irwindale.
Irwindale, yeah,
Yeah.
it's what
Yeah.
it used to be, the one that was in Agora. It was like the very first Ren Fair,
Yeah,
and
and it was
they
out in
they
like
sold it, and this company bought it, and it's bounced around a couple locations.
yeah. For a while, it was out there off the 15, like
Glen Helen Regional
yeah,
Park,
Glen Helen. Yeah,
and that's
that was a
about the
better.
time
That,
Colleen and
yeah,
I stopped doing it. Was when it was
yeah.
out there.
I liked the location though for Glen Helen. It was a lot more natural.
Yeah,
But
but the
yeah,
smog was awful because the smog would like roll in and sit there in that little pocket. That was where, if you're old enough to remember, the US Festival was held.
yeah,
If you remember they're like, ooh, let's do a Woodstock in the '80s, and they had the US Festival.
yeah.
But yeah, rolling green hills. They had a lake.
Mm,
I think the fair moved from there because they wouldn't let them erect permanent buildings.
gotcha.
And that was a big problem. So they were trying to find a place where they could do more permanent stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we're planning to go to the Cronenberg, which is it's like it's basically next to Norco or whatever. So, but it's using the more well-known Corona, I guess, in the name, but Cronenberg Ren Fair. That's
Yeah, they
like at
changed like the C
end of the
to a
month.
K or something.
Yeah. So it'll get at the end of the month, but that one's been there a while. It's been like a permanent, got a bunch of permanent buildings there and such.
Yeah,
But I like it.
if
It's not gigantic, but it's fun.
if they let if they welcome the fair and let them do some sort of site improvements and stuff to it, it's pretty great. The difficulty with the permanent buildings is you need to have like a foundation for them, so you have to be able to pour concrete somewhere to do
Yeah.
it. And in the best of all worlds, they just let you leave the buildings up all year
Yeah.
because it's, you don't want to take them down and put them back up and do whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is what we had to do. We did it in Agora. We did it in Glen Helen. You would strike the entire site when you were
Yeah.
done, and that got pretty tedious. The Glen
Oh,
Helen
thanks.
site was funny because they had all sorts of like sort of dangerous things around there. So
Oh.
like they had poison sumac or something. They had hemlock,
Yeah.
fire ants, like really nasty fire ants. It was not cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the Irwindale was fun. I've only gone to that location once or twice, so hardly that much. But I do like Cronenberg a lot because it's small, but it's not a, I guess I don't know. I don't think it's as big as size wise as the Pleasure Fair, but it's still pretty good size and it's fun. And it hits every year. So there have been some Ren fairs that I went to years ago that are long gone.
Oh,
So,
sure.
know,
Colleen and I,
they're like one hit wonders.
yeah, well, we used to do this sort of like local fair circuit with different groups, and so
Yeah.
we would go to Hanford Fair. We would go to San Luis
Okay.
Obispo. We met at San Luis Obispo Fair. We
Oh,
would go
gotcha.
to all of these different locations, and one fair that I thought was really great, and so I'm really split on this kind of like, let's have RenCon and let's just let people come in their convention costumes to Renaissance Fair. Because honestly, even if you're not doing like a full history fair, having a stormtrooper walking around in white plastic armor really kind of blows the mood.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
And and I'm like really on the fence about Jack Sparrow because
Yeah.
when you see 3 or 4 or 5 Jack Sparrows, I'm like, really?
it gets a bit much.
It
Yeah.
kind of bugs me. Yeah. So, but there was a fair that I think they stopped doing it because the guy who ran it ran away with the money, which was a bummer. But it went for 2 years, I think, and it was called Dragon Fair, and it was specifically a
Weird.
fantasy fair.
Yeah.
Which was great, and I'm
Huh.
I'm all for that. I'm really surprised that
Was
no
that-
one has run like a Game of Thrones
Yeah.
fair.
I've because I went to one called Dragonwood Fair. and
Oh,
it
it was
was like-
Dragonwood. That was it. Yeah, it was Dragonwood.
Oh, that one. Then you went to that one, okay? Because
Yes.
it was like 2 years, right? Or
Yes,
something. It was like real short.
it was in La Crescenta, I think.
It was like an old West Town kind of setup nearby.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so Colleen and I were both there,
Okay.
and we were volunteering with our group there.
Okay.
It's really funny. Well,
Yeah, I went there when I worked at Disneyland, and we went up there to that one. I
Oh,
was
cool.
like, hey, it was fun. I mean, they had a fair at Golden West College one year, and I was a troll for that, so I wandered around like a troll of sorts, but it was really just me with big bumpy bumps all over my face walking around, so not very trollish, or like guy with big bumps on his face. So I had first day, so the second day I changed it and made myself look more like a demon with my makeup, so it looked better.
So here we go. I found an article from the LA Times from 1988.
Wow, man.
It was in Crescenta Valley County Park in Glendale.
Okay.
And this was the fair, and this is how they ran it. It's like knights and highwaymen, medieval lords and ladies, pirates and pixies, magicians, jugglers, and elves will all be there. And
Is that
it was very specifically to be like a fantasy fair.
Dragonwood?
Dragonwood, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I worked for Disneyland from like 90 to 93, so they must have moved it and such, and not told anybody or sold it or something. Because the one I went to, it was like somewhere that I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was LA or not, but it was definitely made to look like an old West town, but like
Well,
as if like they shot movies there or something at one point, kind of thing,
here is one where they did it at Paramount Ranch.
That might be it.
This is Dragonwood in 1991.
That's probably it.
And
then.
so Paramount
Yeah.
Ranch was next to the old Renaissance Fair in Agoura. And it was like right next door on the same land.
Oh, okay.
Except that the fair didn't use like the Western buildings and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
but yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
that's
neat
it.
fair. But I think the guy who ran it like ran away with the money
Of course.
at one point, which was like really sort of unpleasant. But
Yeah.
but I liked that they had a fantasy fair
Yeah.
And that was like really cool. And it was, looking at the Renaissance Fair commercials now, they have a dragon flying around. They're very coyly showing Jack Sparrow. He leans out of a group of people.
It's not as historical as it once was.
It just makes me sad. I want to talk to some people I know who are working the Renaissance Fair and see if they care. Because I mean, I will freely admit this is just my hang up.
Yeah. Well, Shanty was there. I didn't think he was still. He still had a booth there apparently, but he does. So he was there selling the bone pens.
The thing that I remember about Dragonwood Fair is that the Pattersons, who ran the original Renaissance Fair, wandered through the fair with a video camera and were basically like kind of threatening everybody. And they're like,
nice.
If you're here, you can't come to Ren Fair. We know who you are now. We have you on tape. And there's a big argument in this LA Times article where Patterson's like, oh, no, we didn't threaten anybody. And the guy running the fair is like, look, we're not pretending to be old Renaissance. We're doing a fantasy fair. We're not trying to step on her, toes.
Yeah.
Really, really pretty funny.
Yeah. We had a Ren Fair in Orange, God, a long time ago. It's probably 10 years or so now. But, or probably actually more than that. But, yeah, it was over at Hart Park. They did it like 1 year. That's it. The hit and run.
This is funny. I don't know. I think Kelly is still on here, and sometimes Sam is hanging out, and Debbie. There's a paragraph here that says, included are the Black Shire, an English group of medieval warriors, which would have been our group. It was called Blackshire's Company of the Sword, not the Blackshire. Thank you very much. Anyway, it was kind of cool, and I'm all for people running like a full-on fantasy fair. I think that's awesome. I just feel kind of weird when they're like, oh, look, Sailor Moon and Doctor Who are at Ren Fair. Oh well.
Yeah, it's a little odd. Yeah,
that's funny. Funny. What do you think? Star Wars? News.
Go over to Star Wars stuff. Ooh. Okay. Star Wars birthday history. We'll start off with May 13th, 1922. This is backwards in time here. B. Arthur was born. And if any of you folks out there saw the holiday special, then you know exactly where B. Arthur's from. Yeah.
Yeah, she was...
or, Gold Girls or Maude. You know.
Well, B. Arthur was really tough. She was like in the military in World War II. And she was what they used to call at the time a tough broad. Yeah. It was something else. And people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe you were like a soldier. She's like, yeah.
Our next one is May 12th, 1946. That's when L. Neil Smith was born. And he was the writer for basically the Lando Calrissian books.
Right. That was a trilogy. Wow. Yeah, that was pretty good. I remember liking those. I thought they were pretty good. He wasn't quite as good as Brian Daley, but who is really? Brian Daley did the Star Wars radio show, and he also did the Han Solo trilogy books, which were pretty great.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Our next bit of a list is, I guess this is important. I'll say it anyway. May 14th, 1944, when George Lucas was born.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
You know who that guy is. May 15th, 1977, the New York Post printed the first ad for the upcoming film Star Wars, 10 days before its premiere.
I got to tell you, man, people kept bringing me newspapers and magazine cuttings and basically anything that had Star Wars in it found its way to me because I was already like really excited for the movie, because they did some pretty good advanced promotion, but it would be in like the Ladies' Home Journal, and they were like, this movie is coming, and there would be like a little tiny Star Wars poster and stuff. But I'd already read the book because the book had been out since November of 1976. And so like I was bouncing off the walls going, Star Wars. It was really great.
Pretty cool. I know. 77, I didn't know what the hell Star Wars was till I was taken there by my mom. So,
It's the perfect way to see it, though. Like, just jump in with both feet.
Yeah. And then you're 5 years old and you go, wow, that was cool. What's next?
I had to fight the book because I'm like, I've got the book in my head. And they're pretty much the same. It's a little different from each other. But the visuals were just so amazing that you're just like, whatever.
Oops.
And it was really easy to ignore the book and do it. But as a result, I have misquoted a lot of lines of dialogue because they were different in the book. Like C-3PO says in one, he calls R2 an overweight globe of grease, and in the other one he's an overweight glob of grease. And it's just like minor things, really, really little tiny things.
We forgot a couple letters here and there.
Yeah, it really messed me up. They're like, that's not how it is.
The last one is a little more recent. Is May 12th, 2003 is when Lucasfilm Animation launched at Point Richmond Tech Center in San Francisco East Bay, the old home of Pixar.
Mm-hmm. Well, he sold Pixar to Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
But that's okay. They never amounted to anything.
Yeah. That's something. Who knows? Yeah. That's it for our history. Star Wars history.
This rumor annoys me. Largely because it's such complete fan service. And I don't know what this LRM online site that's reporting it. But when Star Wars was pretty much done, Timothy Zahn wrote a trilogy of books that sort of rekindled interest in Star Wars. People got very excited. And Lucasfilm and Lucas specifically realized there was still an audience for Star Wars. And so it kind of started the ball rolling to do more Star Wars stuff. We got new toys. We got Shadows of the Empire. We got eventually the special editions, and then the prequels. And most people credit Timothy Zahn for that. And his first book was called Heir to the Empire. And that introduced us to Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is now he was in Rebels, and he's going to be in Ahsoka. We're hearing about him in other Star Wars series and things like that. And so people basically have, since the book came out, just wanted to see them make that book into a movie, period.
Yeah.
The difficulty is that they have sort of cannibalized things from this series of books to the point where I don't think they can just go make it into a movie. Plus, it also features Luke and Han and Leia, which they're not doing. So, I don't know. This rumor says that it's going to be called Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
And so these guys are like, well, we knew that book was going to be a major influence on this movie. And I'm like, no, we didn't know anything of the sort. So
yeah, it's I saw it in one of the other ones that sites I go to, but I can't locate it, and I don't know. I don't know if there's any validity to the rumor at all.
It was released on somebody's Twitter account.
Yeah, because I know that Dave himself, he said who the main villain is, but not in the movie. But for the Ahsoka series, he says who the main villain is in one of his interviews or tweets or something. I don't remember. Like, yeah, it's like I wonder who does it say? Well, who? Yeah, it's My Time to Shine. Hello,
Yeah, that's the name of
what it is?
the Twitter account. And,
yeah.
And then this article that's all on LRM Online, who's like reporting this. Honestly, they can't consistently spell Filoni, so I don't have high hopes for that.
Yeah, so I'm like, how can that even be remotely? How can that be true? Because I think it's until Dave says something, I'm like.
And
I don't think so.
And they're like, Jon Favreau is only producing. It's all Filoni. And it's like, you don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody knows anything. Everything is so up in the air. And I get pretty tired of the throw everything at the wall, and the stuff that sticks they'll be right about. They're like, see, we told you back then that this thing that we completely BS'd is real. So I wouldn't give it a lot of credit. And I hope it's not titled Heir to the Empire just to mess with those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would think they would do that. I would think it'd be a different name.
Sure. Because you're not copying that story.
Yeah.
And it's just that everybody has put so much stock in that, and they want to see, they want to see Mara Jade, and they want to see whatever. And so,
of course,
I can see them, but there's so much rumor out there, just people spewing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, come on. Although this is not a rumor. And
the next one is not.
This is really left field. This is weird. Urkel has a part in Star Wars?
Yep. Yeah, he'll be in Skeleton Crew, playing a pirate. That's about all I know.
Because when I think pirate, I think Jaleel White.
Yeah. Apparently, he said they had I don't know how if he's exaggerating like that, because I think the time is probably more than he's saying, but he says 2 hours in the makeup chair every day for to be a pirate in Skeleton Crew.
Well, if he's an alien, if he's playing an alien, then
I would think it'd be longer. You know what I mean? Than 2 hours.
Well, the way the makeup usually works, the very first session is usually twice what it ends up being. So if they shot this for a couple of months, by the end of it was 2 hours. And so, but it probably started out as like 4, as they figured out how best to do his makeup.
Gotcha.
But I love that he spilled this on a sports show.
Yeah.
It's like in a, being interviewed at an Oilers game.
Yeah.
For hockey. So we'll have to see. I did not know he was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Weird, huh?
Yeah. That's
probably for
funny.
like the cartoons or something, right? Or was it for the new one?
Yeah. Various cartoons. He did Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Underground, and it was all TV stuff.
Yeah. So. We have Linda is now. I'm not sure how long ago, but Linda's listening or watching too, over on YouTube.
I have to kind of roll this by my. I don't think Laura's like, I can spell Filoni.
Yeah. Huh. I don't. Yeah. Yeah. I guess we're on our next thing up is theme parks, but the first one, I don't know how likely that time frame is, but probably because they still got a lot to go, and I don't think they're going to nail this time frame that those guys, whoever's reporting this. It's like Knott's Berry Farm's Fiesta Village will be open on May 26th. I don't think so. Maybe sections of it will be open, much like Toontown. But that's how it's been anyway. They've been keeping certain parts been kind of open so they can get to one place or another. I don't think the entire thing will be open on the 26th because they've still got a lot of concrete and stuff to put down. And buildings are not quite. Some buildings are still not done, and I just don't see that happening in 8 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this time frame's a little off.
Well,
but it could, maybe like I said, maybe it's Toontown, like Toontown, the open sections,
like Toontown
that are done.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Let's see. Our next one is the one we just found out about. excuse me.
No worries.
It is the at Disney World.
This was awful news. I'm just gonna say it right now, only because we didn't get to go.
Yeah,
and it's exactly the kind of thing we would like.
Exactly.
But
so,
the Galactic Starcruiser, the Halcyon, which is their total immersive environment show that lasts like 2 days, is closing.
Yep.
It's just not cool, man.
And, like, I see the reasoning of, like, all these times are like, well, it's people just it wasn't selling because much and whatever, and wasn't it's too pricey. I'm like, you know how you fix that, right?
Right.
You know how you fix it being too pricey, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Well, and they were talking about doing fewer days during the week and that kind of thing. So I don't know. We'll see.
It was just ridiculous, and like, I sent Disney World a tweet on Twitter, and it was like,
did you ask for free tickets?
No, I should have, but it was my post was, you're closing the Galactic Starcruiser, just realistically lower the freaking price tag. That was my post.
Right.
And people are liking the thing. So, like, come on, guys, really.
What I would like,
how hard is this?
What I would like to know, and this involves like the price. How, like, I want to know how much it costs them to put on the show. So not counting recouping the cost of the building and building all that kind of stuff. What does it cost to just do the show? And so, because it's a hotel stay, you need people to, do housekeeping and stuff. You feed everybody, and these people, unlike a regular trip to the Disney park, if you stay on property, all you do is sleep there.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you're doing in the room, but you're spending the rest of the time around the ship doing LARP stuff. Yeah. And so,
and it's like, I can go to Batu and I'll have to pay more for that.
Right.
So why if all that is part of the price tag, then you should be charging an extra entry into Batu, because it's just silly. I don't understand it.
Well, my thing was, so if it really, let's say it would cost you, because they charge like $6,000 for,
it was for like a family or something. It was like, what, it was like $1,200 a day per person or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And you can apparently fit 5 people in a room. And I talked to somebody who was like 6'2", and he's like, I could fit in that bunk bed totally comfortably. And so what they did when they went is they jammed 5 people in their room to get the cost down. But so, if they're not trying to recoup the cost of the building and stuff, if they like had planned to amortize that a little more over many years of being open, because Disney has a tendency to go, we want our money back now, which is why they bought Star Wars, and then boom, instant Star Wars movie, and another one, and another one, and they didn't like let them ruminate as much as they should have. They just like, here's a Star Wars movie, here's a Star Wars movie, and I think they do that with stuff all the time.
Exactly.
And the prices go up so they can make their money back like right now. But in something like a hotel, you don't get your money back like right now. You assume the hotel's going to last you for like 20 years. And of course you want to break even sooner. But the prices on that Galactic Starcruiser were just too much.
Yeah. And it was like, that was the problem. I'm like, okay, you're going to charge this much money, more than all the other hotels that Disney owns in Disney World. Way more. It's like double the amount than even some of the pricey hotels. It's like more than double.
Right.
So what the hell? And it's like, isn't Star Wars supposed to be like for everybody, not just people with a deep
who were rich?
Pocket? Yeah, and or people that got invited because they were because they're they were mommy bloggers or whatever.
Influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just sad. And yeah, Eric, I agree. Yeah, it would make more sense to them have like two different experiences
Yeah.
if they wanted to change the price tag or something. I just don't see that the performance part being a part of the price tag, since they already do the performance basically the same thing but two.
Well, but
make any sense to me.
I can see that they had to pay a bunch of actors. So back in the excuse me, still having an asthma attack. Back in the 1990s,
Yes.
My first trip to Disneyland was with Kelly Kane, who's online here.
Okay.
John, her new husband,
Okay.
Colleen, our friend Shauna, and we stayed on site at Shades of Green, which was like a really cheap hotel for people who worked in the military. So John was
Gotcha.
was of a rank that I think it was $50 a night to stay in, what was it, 1994 or whatever it was, and we split that 5 ways each night. We each paid like $10 a night to stay there in this room for 5, whatever. But we went to Pleasure Island, which is no longer there. It's now downtown Disney. And on Pleasure Island, they had a thing called the Adventurers Club.
Oh, yeah.
And you could walk into the Adventurers Club at like 6 o'clock, buy some drinks, have some snacks, hang out. And if you wanted to, you could follow any of the like 8 or 10 characters who were there around the club until midnight. And it told a story. You were part of it. You could interact with everybody, learn the mysteries. You could affect the outcome. And at the end of this night, everybody sat around. They told you all of the stuff that happened, and they wrapped up the evening with a song, and they did the Adventurers Club salute, which was Kongaloosh, and. That was it. You had like a really great time. It was really, really amazing. It wasn't that different from what they're doing at the Galactic Starcruiser.
Yeah.
The only difference is the location.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they had to pay these 8 or 10 actors every night to do this. Yeah. And somehow it's, at least for a while, they still seem to do okay. And so, I mean, if in reality the show part that they give you only costs like $2,000 instead of $6,000, then they need to shrink the prices down. Yeah. Because nobody can afford that. And the reviews, I think they made a mistake with the way they did the reviews and doing all the influencers and stuff, because I didn't see really good reviews come out of it. And it's not that they didn't like it. They had a great time. I just think that like most of the videos I saw, people who were reviewing it just like didn't approach it right. And I think Disney felt that way too, because we talked to their marketing department at Celebration. Yeah. And they were like, we just got a bunch of backlash and the people didn't really review it in the way that we thought. And Colleen and I were talking to her, and we explained what we thought it was. And she's like, see, those are the kind of reviews we needed. I'm like, and yet you didn't invite us to come do it. And because the people who did go didn't even review it like a cruise ship. They didn't understand the show part of it. They didn't get involved in the story part of it, which was the big sell. Really just kind of bums me. And I know that there's like a lot of people going on, and I'm looking at what it costs to take a Disney cruise for 3 days to the Caribbean. That's $2,600 to do, and obviously they're pricing it like a cruise.
Yeah, that's not a day.
That's for the whole cruise,
yeah.
But you only get like 2 nights on the ship, It says, you should expect to spend at least $1,000 on a cruise for 2 passengers. That's for the Disney cruise ship, and that's a 2023 price. I would, and honestly, if Colleen and I could have gone for $2,000, we'd have been there.
Yeah.
$1,000 that this says that you can do a Disney cruise for, that we totally would have been there. Would have been amazing. Yeah. So,
but that's the trouble.
Yeah, and I get it. I get that these things cost money and that they threw a lot of technology into it, and the initial outlay for this was a lot. I totally understand that, but it's just disappointing that they're giving up on it so soon. Yeah, it's did it make it a year?
I don't know. It may have. I don't know. Yeah. Hi, Kelly.
It just says a year. Oh, it opened on March 1st.
Yeah.
And so
last year. So yeah, it made it a year.
It made it just over a year.
Yeah.
And I guess by the time they close down in September, it'll be a year and a half.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a real bummer. Big bummer.
Yeah.
Let me take the opportunity to tell you guys you were listening to Sci-Fi.radio. If you were hearing us over the airwaves, that's the URL, by the way, sci-fi.radio. You can always listen to us and other things going on over there. Tuned in right now over there, United States, Canada, Germany, United Kingdom, Estonia, and Australia. Thanks for tuning in. And then if you are watching us, you could be doing so on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, any of those. Let you see our smiling and curmudgeonly faces. So there you go.
Exactly. So I can imagine, though, that what they'll probably first do is, obviously they're looking at what happened, what they did with it, and they'll probably just restructure it and reopen it. I just don't know what that restructuring will be, but I sincerely doubt they're just gonna strike the set and rip it down and put something else there.
They won't take it down. I mean, honestly, although I gotta say, Walt Disney World has a long history of just abandoning stuff.
Oh yeah,
they've got
some hotels that are still
there are hotels, there are water parks. There's like all of these things that they just nature is reclaiming these things slowly. Yeah. So that's kind of weird. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. But I think this will come back in some other form. I'm just sad that I didn't get to experience it in its initial offering.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Colleen and I have been participating in LARPs since 1987. It's a long time. And, we're pretty good at it. And we, frequently when people run LARPs, we will act as an NPC because we're good at improv and making up characters on the fly.
Gotcha.
And so we'll be a non-player character to help move the story along and that kind of thing. Or sometimes I'll jump in as a game master, which is really fun too. And I think I like to run them more than participate in them because I don't have goals I want to accomplish usually. But I would have loved to have been able to take that skill set that we've got and throw it at the Galactic Starcruiser.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, and see how it goes.
It would have been great. LARP is short for live action role play. So you're kind of like D&D, but you're acting it all out, as the characters as in costume and such.
Mm-hmm. And so escape rooms are kind of LARPing, where you go in and you have to solve a puzzle and find your way out. It's just like an RPG on the computer, except you are doing it sort of at a party with your friends. And sometimes they'll do it as theater, like the thing that Colleen did this weekend, where she was in the midst of a Jane Austen event that was being made up on the fly. Or back in the day, and in fact, I got to tell her about this when we did Yuri's Night this year. Denise Crosby was in a play here in Los Angeles called Tamara. and it took place in a mansion in LA, and you had dinner, and then after dinner you could follow any of the characters around that you wanted to and solve the mystery that was going on, and then they all collected at the end and they solved it and whatever. So you sort of became a fly on the wall as part of this this event, which is like really cool. And so I've been thinking about that a lot in connection with the Galactic Starcruiser.
Gotcha.
Because that's what you do. You go and you follow characters around, and they involve you in their various schemes and situations. Just looked really cool.
Huh.
So
yeah, I mean, like murder mystery parties are basically LARPing.
Oh, totally. Yeah, completely.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's exactly LARPing. So.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun. And yeah, we used to do them with the UCLA Enigma Science Fiction Club. When we made Colleen a Princess Leia metal bikini, it was for a Star Wars LARP back in the day, which was fun. So the first time we made one of those, like in the late 1980s, there was another Star Wars one that I played a weapons dealer, which was fun. I like showed up with all my props and sold people guns and stuff. Yeah, it was kind of neat. So, but
awesome.
Eric saw Tamara. He says that's pretty cool.
So yeah, fun stuff. Boy, more theme park news. Where is this? Oh, no, of course, Florida. It happened here too, but in Florida there is a fight broke out on Main Street Station, Magic Kingdom.
This was pretty bad.
Yeehaw. So, boy, banned for life, maybe? Gosh. God.
They should be.
Yeah.
And this looked bad, too. I don't know what happened to the guy. He got hit in the head, and head wounds
he's just bleeding
mightily. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So, I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, what are people thinking? What are you people thinking? You're going to a park. You spend a crap load of money to go have fun in. What the hell?
I don't know either. It's seriously kind of a bummer.
Yeah. It's just bizarre. And
it costs so much money, and then you're just like gonna throw out like $1,500 you spent to get your family in there.
Yeah,
like
I don't understand it.
I don't
it's like you're having difficulties with someone. Walk away. Do not continue to continue in with that problem.
Well, and sometimes they're people who fight amongst themselves.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Yeah, just why? It's like, I know it's hot and muggy and nasty, but you're there. You just have fun. Don't freak out.
This is weird. I'm trying to log into my oh, here we go. This is it. Okay, I was trying to log into my PhotoPass because
so you can see the thing.
Yeah, well. So they're always doing interesting things that let you do little, backgrounds and stuff. I was really unhappy with my PhotoPass shots lately, and this article is talking about Florida, but here in Disneyland they were kind of dopey, and so. I'm gonna show you guys one of these, and I thought she was trying to set up something artistic or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'll show you guys my PhotoPass. What is up with the positioning of us in the frame here? This is kind of nuts. Here we go. Let's do that. So this is a picture somebody took of Colleen and I, and they're adding Grogu in there with IG-12. Look at how much headspace is in that.
That is That's bizarre.
I don't understand. It's like
Did they
you couldn't zoom in.
like did you want to have these cool lanterns and stuff in the picture and right? It's
Something.
okay.
I'm like, is there supposed to be something over our head? Did we miss
Yeah, I
something?
know.
Are
The heck?
are we being attacked by a probe droid? I don't know what's happening. Let's see. A couple other ones were like sort of okay,
Yeah.
but I think she was phoning it in. This was just weird.
Yeah.
The rest of the pictures are just sort of meh. So,
Yeah.
I thought it was really strange. And because I sit there and I look at the PhotoPass people, and we know a bunch of them, you and I,
Yeah.
and former ones. And, like, I know that they're good photographers, but I could do better than that. It's like, did we interrupt her from her phone time? What
Yeah,
happened?
probably.
It was
Yeah,
just so weird. I really wanted to, like, I was looking forward to these cool pictures, right?
Yeah.
Boo.
They Laura and Eric brought something up, and the article that they talked about Fiesta Village did not mention this, and I totally forgot to talk about this too. But when the time that they say Fiesta Village is supposed to open, which I think is not going to be a full opening, the 26th, it will also be the return of Ghost Town Alive. That'll be coming up too.
Which is a very LARPy experience.
Yes. Yeah. And Danny, I think Danny's going to be doing it this year. Danny from Perception Studio. I think he's going to be doing that again this year. I got to find out for sure. But yeah.
Did he do it last time?
Yes. I didn't get to see him, but so this time around I believe so.
That's so funny because he used to be like a Disney guy, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He used to be
him and Andrew's still Disney, but yeah. Doing all the puppetry stuff and like
Danny
DCA
Montooth, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to audition as a puppeteer, and I ended up auditioning for Danny, which is funny. And I felt so bad. He came up at me. He's like, "Man, we really like you, but you're just too short." Which is like the story of my freaking life.
Oh, man.
Anyway, it was a really fun experience. It was really great. Yeah. It was one of the things that made me decide to commit to the Muppet Project.
Yeah.
Anyway, he and Andrew are actually really good puppeteers.
Yes, totally.
And they're a lot of fun.
Art as well.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I keep forgetting her name. But I can't remember her name now, but for some stupid reason I'm drawing a blank. But the other gal that was also Disney and whatnot that was doing Perception Studio, like a week ago or so, was on there doing puppet work again, which hadn't been for a long time. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. But yeah. So, but in any case, Danny hopefully will be there again this year. But yeah. For Ghost Town Alive. And I'll be able to actually go and have fun with that because I don't think I had a pass that was valid or something at the same time that it was happening last time. So yeah.
Well, it would be fun, I think, to go do that at some point. We haven't been
totally.
We haven't been to Knott's in a while, and we certainly have enough cowboy clothes, I think, to suit
totally.
up and wander in. So.
Oops. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty nifty. What's our new next thing? Oh, we already covered the sort of the weird PhotoPass thing being the new thing in Florida. They're doing watercolors for the magic shot. Like that's like a.
Yeah, that was the thing that started me on the pictures that I saw.
Yeah. Bizarre. They're built in Universal Florida. They're building Minion Land. No idea why, but they are.
It could be really fun
Yeah.
if they like make it super weirdly interactive. I mean, because the minions are known for their insanity.
Yeah.
So if they can make that, come across,
Yeah.
pretty cool. So they're gonna do something called Minion Blast, which sounds like an interactive ride with shooting.
Yeah. Ouch.
And they exit through the gift shop called Evil Stuff. There's a cafe called the Minion Cafe. You get a glimpse at the equipment and gear the minions have used to whip up the cafe's menu.
Yeah.
Bake My Day, which is apparently a cupcake and pastry thing. Papa Nana, which is banana flavored popcorn. Freeze Ray Pops, which is ice cream, and then the Illumination Theater, where you can hang out with characters from Illumination, and you can hang out with the Grooniverse people or characters from Sing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I mean it's kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't look all that exciting. Are they replacing something else?
Yeah, I don't know.
Here, I'll show these to you guys because honestly, some of them are disturbing. Let me get back here to the first one, and we'll do that right there. Let me zoom in a little bit. That's pretty good. So this is the main look of the area. This is the cafe, the entrance to the cafe.
Yeah.
This Barbie-looking thing is the cupcake place. And then I guess that does not look appetizing. Can I just say?
A little bizarre.
I'm assuming it's a dessert. It doesn't
Yeah.
say, but it's got a gummy bear in the middle of it, and it comes with. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's weird. Ooh, blue. Blue is not a good food color.
It's like rice.
I don't know.
Yeah, looks like rice.
So, a minion looking tater tots or chicken nuggets or something. You know what would be nice? Is if they told you what these were. Because they don't.
Yeah, totally.
There's no thing. Anyway, it doesn't say if they are replacing something with this. Because I know in Florida, like, a lot of people are pretty dumb with Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
That area.
Eric says that it's replacing Shrek 3D.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know if that's. I mean,
I
would
didn't
think
even
they're
know that
replacing
was a
that, but there's
thing.
probably extra space too.
Well, they
In addition to
must
that.
be.
I don't know if that's big enough for a whole thing.
Villain Con. Dun dun dun. Well, could be fun.
Yeah.
You know what they closed, which I don't think we reported on. Maybe we did. They closed that Atlantis ride at Islands of Adventure.
Yeah, yeah.
I liked that ride. I thought it was really cool. But I guess not very many other people liked it.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Yeah, the other I just looked at finally found something I was looking for, and the other guy, the other person that was puppeteering for Perception is Amber.
Amber.
So there we go.
I saw a picture of her. I just couldn't think of her name.
Yeah. My brain just went.
While we're
Good
still
one, buddy.
doing theme park stuff, and we're about to talk about Disney, there was another thing that came across just recently. It started yesterday, which is if you were a pass holder or a key holder, I guess they call it. If you're a keyhole, you can, or a keister, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
You can change your reservation for Disneyland and DCA without canceling it first. And you can just move it if the day is available as opposed to like canceling it and redoing it, which has been a complication that we've all had to kind of fight through recently. I don't really know how Disney's doing their reservations now. So the past couple weeks and the next few weeks, actually, there are like almost no reservations at all for
the hell
for my level of pass, which is the top level of pass. And so like there wasn't anything this week, and then one showed up for tomorrow and one showed up for Saturday if I want to make a reservation, and those just like came up out of the blue. And then the next week, except for Saturday and Sunday, are completely blocked out, except for DCA on Saturday and Sunday. Really bizarre. It's really nuts. I don't pretend to understand it. But being able to change your reservation without having to cancel it and rebuild it, that's kind of nice. So at least Anaheim is getting a little bit of reservation love.
Yeah.
Florida just got a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So
it took some time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. The next theme park bit of news, we have Space Mountain and Tomorrowland are getting a total remake, total reface, new face, whatever, Tokyo Disneyland.
Well,
in 2027.
Because Colleen and I just saw it. Now they're going to change it. The new Space Mountain look. And I should show you guys this picture.
Kind of looks like garlic.
Garlic?
Yeah, look at it.
I don't know. Honestly, it just looks like whipped cream.
Okay.
But
it's like big old space bulb.
It looks like the what do you call it? The George Lucas Museum.
Oh, kinda, I suppose.
That's coming. But I mean, the Space Mountain just looks like a bunch of whipped cream to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like, because since they put in the Tron ride and like nothing else in the matches.
This is Tokyo Disneyland.
Yeah, Tokyo.
They don't have.
It looks like they're putting. Oh, in the drawing, it looks like they're putting one in. That's next to it. Is that what that looks like to you?
Yeah, not really.
Kind of like the Tron ride. Maybe it isn't.
I don't know.
But I know, like in Florida, they put the Tron ride in, and you're like, "Wow, that's cool." And you look at the rest of Tomorrowland in Florida, and you're like, "There's a match, but it's okay."
Now, Space Mountain was closed while we were there.
Oh, okay.
We did not get to go to
That's
Space
a bummer.
Mountain. It was a bummer. And I can't really see where it says that they're if they're bringing any Tron stuff in or something.
Yeah, they just kind of look like it from the next to Space Mountain, but I'm guessing that's just an added addition to Space Mountain. It's weird.
Yeah, it's just glowing blue lights. I mean, basically it's just a reskin because Space Mountain looks like Space Mountain, like our Space Mountain. It's no different. Actually, looks kind of smaller.
Could be. I mean, I think it might be.
So
I can't remember the size. There was a size comparison I found somewhere a while back, and I don't remember what it was.
Of all the Space Mountains.
I mean, Eric knows. I think Eric knows. To be honest, but yeah, there's like a difference in size.
Interesting. Anyway, it's. I was sad that we couldn't go on it.
Yeah.
When we were there. But
okay.
They really need to update our.
Jude, yeah.
Space Mountain.
Our entire, it definitely needs it.
They said that they were going to do, like a Jules Verne steampunk thing, and they started repainting stuff and whatnot, and then they stopped in the middle of it, and they put it all back. Yeah.
I don't know the reasoning. I mean, maybe did they think that it wasn't popular or something? I don't understand why they switched it back. But was it an anniversary of Space Mountain or something, and they wanted it to be white again?
I don't know. Whatever it was, I think they just didn't have a clear enough vision of what they were doing. I love space, the Jules Verne Tomorrowland in Paris. That's amazing. And they could totally do that to ours, because there is no way, and if they haven't learned this by now, since 1955, there is no way to keep Tomorrowland in the future. You just can't.
No.
They tried with Interventions, where it's like, we're going to change the exhibits all the time.
Gotcha.
And that did not work.
Yeah, jeez.
That was terrible. Carousel of Progress, like, is gone, although it's still in Florida.
Yeah. I go on that every time, man. I go there just so I can, if I see it and stuff. It's.
I'm caught in my chair.
Uh-oh. But I mean, and people, I know there's like so many people that want the People Mover to come back here to Disneyland. I'm like, well, they can't. I mean, it can. It just it would cost a ton of money, because it'd have to like completely replace the entire track, and all the concrete and everything has to be completely redone in order for it to come back.
Yeah, there's no way to make that happen.
And it's just like not really something that I don't think it's anything they're ever going to do.
No, not at all.
No, I like the idea of a hanging one, but that's me.
Well, so
old concept art of Tomorrowland from way back when.
The submarine ride in Tokyo is a 6-person car. There's 2 people in front, 2 people to either side, front window, 2 side windows, and there is no water in their submarine ride. Where ours, you're actually underwater. This is very ambitious. This one, they fake it, where water runs through the car, which is great. But it's a hanging vehicle, and it works great. It works really great. I would love a People Mover thing like that.
Oh, totally.
I mean, since they have to replace the People Mover, period, because of seismic stuff.
Yeah. And the stupid rocket rods.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's why I don't know what their plan is. I mean, plus that they're going to bring in some sort of Avatar thing to Disneyland, but they haven't said what it is. I have a feeling, though, what the Avatar experience is that they're bringing into Disneyland's Tomorrowland is probably the same thing that's out in the Philippines. I think they're just doing a copy paste.
The Philippines?
Yeah, I think it's in the Philippines, or was it somewhere else? Singapore? I don't know. It's the Avatar experience.
Oh. Well,
and you go and it's got like a big, like, it's got this bunch of statues and whatnot.
Yeah. But where are they gonna put it?
I don't know. I imagine they would just stick it where the Interventions building, whatever,
Yeah, I mean that sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
But it says it's going to be as amazing as Pandora. I don't believe them.
Me neither.
And
yeah,
I'm just not excited for it.
Yeah.
Did you see the latest Avatar movie?
Nope.
I
mean, it's coming to Disney Plus, so I'll see it soon.
I didn't either. And so I'm like, I wasn't excited about it. The first movie was okay. The thing that excited me about the first Avatar movie, the most impressive thing about it, was the 3D.
Yeah.
Which was like really deep into the screen. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool.
I haven't really heard anything really negative about about that one, The Way of Water. I mean, from what I understand, people loved it, but I'm like, I'll watch it when it gets onto Disney Plus and see if there's any sort of hubbub about it. But, I mean, the first one was fun. I never got to see the first one in 3D, but, I mean, visually it's still really, looks really good. Amazing job on it. Thing I wonder about, though, the trouble that they had, like, excuse me, with Avatar Land in Florida is you go there, right? It's Pandora, and it's really cool. The land's really cool, the way it looks, and then at nighttime there's a bioluminescence and stuff that's really cool. But but there's a certain thing lacking from Pandora. Mm-hmm. There's no blue people, Sean. There's no blue people walking around.
Well, honestly,
Avatar.
who is that tall? Nobody's that tall.
And they're apparently, I mean, the characters of Avatar are really tall. They're supposed to be like what, 12 feet tall or something? They're actually supposed to be really tall.
I thought they were supposed to be 9 feet,
I don't know.
but I could be wrong.
And I don't know how they would even accomplish that other than a puppet or something. I'm not really sure how they would do it, you know. I mean, there's the little ride, the water ride you go on where there's like the one of the most complex animatronics they've ever done in that ride. She's like a shaman or something.
Yeah.
She's sitting there or whatever. And the ride itself is like, it's like Jurassic Park or something. You know, it's like you're just floating along and look, there's things over there. Oh, okay, there's stuff over there. Nothing really happens. It's like you're just boating through Pandora.
Well, we didn't go last time we were there, even though it was open, because the lines were just too long. Just for reference, because we brought it up, the Na'vi are supposed to be 9 to 10 feet tall.
Oh, there we go.
So
and I don't know how they would accomplish it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, they were able to accomplish floating rocks in the sky, so.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure they could figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, they're not floating per se, if you look hard, but it's clever. It's a clever.
I know how they
illusion.
did it, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's the point that I was making when I asked if you had seen the movie is that I'm not finding a lot of people who did go out and see it in theaters.
Really?
It did okay. It made some money, but I'm not finding a lot of people that actually made time to go see it in a theater.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I know tons of people who are excited to go see the new Indiana Jones movie, for example.
Okay. Yeah.
Or even went
Eric
to
says it made a lot of money, but I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know a lot of people in my 4,500 people on Facebook that actually went to see it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, somebody did, obviously, but not people I know who are hardcore science fiction fans. So, I don't know. I know more people, I think, who went to see the reissue of Return of the Jedi a couple weeks ago than went to go see the latest Avatar thing.
Yeah.
But sure, I'll watch it on Disney Plus.
Oh, me too. I mean, definitely. Once it drops, which is like the end of this month, I think.
There is some good stuff coming at the end of this month.
Oh yeah, totally.
Most notably, and I'm sure we have this in our list somewhere.
Probably.
Indiana Jones is coming in 4K to Disney Plus. So they're releasing the 4K DVDs or Blu-rays, I guess. And
it is a list. Yeah.
And then Disney Plus screens a lot of their stuff in 4K. So Raiders and Temple of Doom and The Last Crusade and The Crystal Skull will be just in time to refresh your memory for the movies.
Yeah. Also, Young Indiana Jones Chronicles is going to be put on there too.
Yeah, and that's great. So the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles never got a really reasonable release on DVD. They sort of started releasing seasons, and then they started doing one of those, here are the best episodes from the season as a special movie.
Yes.
Which got really old really fast.
And it was like, we've decided to edit stuff out and do this and this. I'm like, really? Why?
Right. And one of the things that will probably be the case when they release these things at the end of the month, old Indy is gone.
Yeah, with the eye patch.
Yeah, they pulled him right out.
Oh,
which
man.
was kind of I wasn't sure about him when they started, and then I got kind of used to him.
Yeah, totally.
So I mean, he served a purpose for the bookend stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I guess since Harrison Ford's still plugging along, they just decided to pull him out.
Just reshoot it with him at the eye patch. Be fine.
Right. As if he'd want to do it.
Yeah, no. I'm done with this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. What a bummer. That's okay.
I didn't really look at too many of the trailers. I saw the Haunted Mansion one.
Oh, okay. Man. Well, Extraction 2 looks insane. With all the action of the first one. If you saw that, wow,
That's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, it looks like they're like, well, we were kind of tame on that first one. We're gonna dial this up about,
Well,
it looks nuts.
you have to dial it up
Yeah,
when you do it, and
yeah.
that's what it's like. The John Wick movies get
Oh,
successively
jeez, I know, God.
crazier,
How many times can you do this? Oh, God.
right?
Yeah. Nimona as animated, computer animated, and
It doesn't look quality though.
it looks different, and it's a teaser. So maybe once they get around to the actual trailer, So
I
we'll see what
hope
happens.
so, because
Yeah.
the animation is just really. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be like a kid did it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the thing. It's just the problem is that it's like, you know, 8 frame per second animation or something. Oh, it gets better. Okay.
CG. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah. Well, the beginning, yeah, because the beginning is it's her imagination.
Yeah,
It's in
all
her
right.
mind, her mind,
That
her
makes
character's
sense.
mind that goes around.
Because it didn't look good.
No, no, it was,
It was
it's
like,
meant
if
to look
this
that
is
way.
the whole movie, I'm not.
No.
But it's coming to Netflix, so
Yeah.
you don't have to pay anything extra for it.
Chloe Grace Moretz is the main character.
Okay,
So hit girl basically.
right. Here's another
This
movie
looks yeah.
that
This looks good only because it's got oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Oh my God. Ah I can't think of it. My brain shot. What the hell happened there?
okay.
So Captain America's girlfriend.
Haley.
Yes, Haley Atwell. There we go. Yes, she's in it, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh, that's the reason I want to see it.
But so this is another movie where they have to keep upping the game and upping the game and upping
Yes.
the game, because it's Mission
only part one.
Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah.
And as we know, Tom Cruise likes to do all his own stunts.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
if you
the
saw him during COVID, this was the movie in which he kept losing it because people kept giving people COVID on the set.
Yeah.
And so he'd have like a meltdown.
No.
But yeah, it's Mission Impossible. We'll probably see
Yeah.
it.
Next one was Haunted Mansion. So, and yes, I do want to see this.
We will definitely see this.
Totally.
I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's Rosario Dawson, which is interesting. I wonder what the deal is, why they keep putting black families into the Haunted Mansion. The last movie was a black family in the Haunted Mansion. And
I don't know. Is that part of
weren't-
the original story? Was that part of that? I mean, not
No.
saying that it wasn't, but I mean, I was just wondering.
No, it was about a pirate captain who was
Oh yeah, yeah.
like away at sea, and his wife and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. It was the Gracie Mansion. But
Yeah.
the thing about the thing that makes me laugh every time I see it is that wasn't this the whole Eddie Murphy thing, where he's like, "Nice place, too bad we can't stay," and the whole idea was
Yeah.
is that the
Yeah.
black
Get
people
out. Yeah.
were too smart to
Yeah.
stay in the haunted house, which is keeps getting countermanded here.
Yes.
We did get a look at the Hatbox Ghost.
Yeah.
It's Jared Leto. I'm not impressed.
Unfortunately, that's gonna be a tough one to get over. But
Yeah.
But, hey, Jamie Lee Curtis is Madame Leota.
And that's
That was-
weird because she looks like a completely different actress. She looks like Christine Baranski, like a completely different
Weird.
actress. So we'll have to see. It's a pretty sizable trailer. So if you want to get a good idea for what the movie's about, it's fairly involved.
Oh,
I
totally.
haven't decided if it told us too much or not yet. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. Here, I'll show you the picture of Jamie Lee Curtis as Madame Leota, because she really does look like a completely different actress.
Yeah.
Here's the picture. And here is for you guys. There you go. So that's her in the ball. And it really doesn't look like Jamie Lee Curtis. And it totally looks like Christine Baranski, if you know who I'm talking about. So, Just saying. But
makeup.
Who played it in the last movie? It was not Juliette Lewis. It was she was Chucky's girlfriend too.
Yes, yeah.
I
My
can't
God,
think of her name.
I'm not doing well with names today.
I know, right? I didn't
Jeez.
have any coffee, and that always.
Yeah, that's what screwed me over.
Totally.
But yeah.
It was. Gosh, that movie came out 20 years ago.
Damn.
Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
Who is always slightly loopy anyway.
Yes.
So I actually thought she did a pretty good job, even though she's like crazy.
Totally. Oh boy. So
Wait.
that looks good. Do you want to see that?
Yeah, I mean it'll be great. I think it'll be awesome.
The next trailer was for The Creator. It was a teaser, and it looks pretty neat. I do want to see this.
This didn't have anything to do with George Lucas. Oh, that's the maker. Sorry. Okay, that was the other one.
Yeah, either one way or the other, But it is the director of Rogue One, so.
Yeah, that was
director.
Gareth Edwards, right?
Yes.
We like him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And I think that it could.
It looks like it'd be pretty good. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it's very
Tough
shooty.
one. Yeah.
It's
Hard to
sci-fi
say.
and very shooty.
We had this I put in because it was a period film. That was the only reason. But teaser for Killers of the Flower Moon, which is a Martin Scorsese film. But and that had to do with Native Americans way back in like looks like turn of the century
1920s.
Yeah. And it's they have oil on their land, and then I guess the ensuing lovely white folk that come in to take it. So that's what it's about pretty much.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Didn't Robert De Niro just have a baby?
I think so, yeah.
At like the age of 79 or something?
Yeah. Luckily he wasn't the one having it, because,
Right.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking of When Harry Met Sally, where they're like, oh, well, Charlie Chaplin had a baby at 60. And Billy Crystal's like, yeah, but he couldn't pick him up. This is apparently Robert De Niro's 7th child.
Oh, boy. Wow.
So, wow.
How about that?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
He's having kids that we're not.
Yeah.
Colleen and I. So it's like taking care of us.
Me too.
Gia Virginia Chen De Niro.
Yeah.
The name is bigger than she is.
Yeah, totally. Next teaser is for Five Nights at Freddy's. So
This looks fun.
yeah, it looks like an interesting take. I can't talk today.
Well, and if you're a fan of the game,
Yeah.
it's exactly what you think it is, which is getting stuck in an evil Chuck E. Cheese,
Yep.
where the animatronics are going to eat you.
Yeah. Hey, Matthew Lillard's in it, so there you go.
Well, and the best thing about the trailer is it's done like a 1980s like VHS commercial.
Yes, exactly.
Which is really great. There's somebody else in here that I recognize.
Yeah.
There's a guy.
There's a kid. The guy who's supposed to be the new security guard or whatever. He's in a ton of stuff beforehand. Younger. Like I know he was recently in was it the Hunger Games he was in? I think he was in one of those or a few of those, but
All right,
yeah.
here.
Child actor.
Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard, Elizabeth Lale. I think I'm just looking at Matthew Lillard and going, oh, because he looks different in this.
Yeah.
Mary Stuart Masterson is in it, listed only as female villain.
Yeah.
That makes you wonder. Like, ooh. And I like
that,
Mary Stuart Masterson. She's great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
ouch.
it's not aimed at us.
Yeah.
I have
Saving somebody.
I have no pretension that it's for our age group.
Yeah.
at all.
The last one trailer is for, well, it's really it's much like the Hamilton thing on Disney Plus. It's, it's just the filmed,
A filmed stage production.
yes, of Oklahoma.
Okay, Lahoma.
Yeah. And it's Hugh Jackman.
Right.
Yeah.
This looks like it was done a few years ago.
No,
Because
probably.
Hugh Jackman looks younger
Yeah.
than now.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
have no idea when they filmed it.
It's all right. Starring then newcomer Hugh Jackman
Yeah.
as Curly. 1998?
Wow.
Seriously?
Really?
Wow.
Wow. I'll hold on to that one for a while. What
That's
the heck?
that's
I didn't even realize
old.
that.
That's
We just thought we'd just let this chill on the shelf for a little while.
well, that explains why I'm looking at Hugh Jackman going, he's too young.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Well,
My boy, Bill. Yeah.
no, that was Carousel.
Okay.
This-
Is there a whole difference? But
This
yeah, I know
was
what you're saying.
Surrey with the fringe on top,
Oh, okay.
and
That's
oh, what a
that's
beautiful morning.
right. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, my boy Bill was the spousal abuse one.
Yeah, that's right. Aren't they like same maker or different maker?
They're both Rogers and Hammerstein, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Messing me up, man. I don't keep track of this stuff.
We lost a couple people
Yes, we
this
did.
week, and this one hits kind of hard. This was a guy who was really fun to see at conventions. He was like really great to talk to, and he sort of made our childhoods. And in fact, he was a toy designer, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna grab my camera over here, and up here in the corner of my room is a big old Millennium Falcon hanging there. It is one of like 3 that I own. And it was designed by Mark Boudreau, who has the distinction of having designed every Millennium Falcon for Kenner. He got his start just before Star Wars came out. And it was one of the first things they gave him. They're like, hey, do you want to work on this Millennium Falcon thing? And he's like, are you kidding? This is awesome. So he retired from Hasbro in 2020. He had a 43-year career working with them.
Wow.
Because he started in like January of 77, and then Star Wars came out. And he basically had a career. At one point, I had applied for and I had won a position at Kenner. It was right before Hasbro bought them. And in retrospect, it was good I didn't take the job, because if I'd gone to Cincinnati and they laid me off when they moved to Rhode Island, I'd have been toast. Colleen and I would have been stuck in Cincinnati. Would have been bad. But one of the big disappointments was I did not get to work with Mark Boudreau, which would have been just absolutely incredible. But he came like right out of high school and went right into toy design and just became this, toy design god. Chicago Toy and Game Fair gave him their Lifetime Achievement Award and stuff like that. One of the reasons why this is so sad of his passing is he has been fighting for 15 months COVID. He had been doing poorly in the hospital. A lot of us had contributed to a GoFundMe on behalf of his family. It just was not like a cool way to go. And
No.
it's people keep telling you that COVID's not a threat anymore. Don't listen, because people are still dying from it. And this poor guy, man, 15 months in the hospital. It was just awful. But if you played with Star Wars toys, you know him. And in fact, if you collect Star Wars toys, he was an Endor Rebel soldier. He was the guy with the dark brown goatee They used his face on that and a couple of other figures, and so he is immortalized in plastic as Kenner figures, Hasbro figures. So anyway, this one hit kind of hard for me because he honestly was just an absolutely amazing dude who would sit down and answer any of your stupid questions. And he just had the absolute best stuff.
Nice.
Bob Smith, who was a programmer on the original Atari 2600, has passed away. He worked at Atari in the 1980s, worked on Star Wars, the arcade game, and Crash Bandicoot, and a bunch of other things. He passed away on May 13th. And it's, being a guy named Smith, he was like always getting confused with other people, and it was always kind of a big drag for him. But he's got a lot of games under his belt, and a lot of stuff. I want to know, Star Wars the arcade game. I'm not sure if he did the one in arcades or he did the translation to the 2600.
Oh, I don't know.
But anyway, sad news. It doesn't say here how he passed.
Yeah.
What caused it or anything like that. But he also, there was a game company called Imagic that were like a bunch of people from Atari who went on and found their own game company, and basically they were the guys who followed Activision. So it was like Atari, then Activision happened, and then Imagic actually is what it was called, happened.
Okay.
So, anyway, yeah, you played his stuff certainly if you played stuff.
Oh, most
back
likely,
then.
yeah.
So I don't know how he passed away though.
Yeah.
More research, I guess, needs to happen.
More news later on.
Yeah. So, excuse me, I'm still having a terrible asthma attack.
I see that.
That I've been having for several months now. I went to the doctor and they didn't help me much. They're like, breathe into this tube, which I did for an hour and some change last Friday. So,
Yeesh. No, joy, man, joy.
Yeah, total bummer. So, yeah. What else we got? We don't have much by way of speed round.
Very small amount of news afterwards,
but we also only have like 10 minutes. So
yeah, so it works out, So Deadpool 3 has a working title. It's called Tidal Wave. That's the working title. So obviously you're going to change. This is the first. This will be the first Deadpool that takes place within the MCU, and it's still rated R. And they've added 2 more people to the casting that are coming back from the previous Deadpool movies, and it's Brianna Hildebrand and I'm going to mess this name up, Shioli Katuna. Brianna played Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Katsuno is playing Yukio, which is a Japanese ninja. And they're like, girlfriend, whatever. So, and they're coming back playing the same parts in this one. So,
okay,
that's pretty cool. And they've already listed a bunch of the folks coming back, like Miranda Baccarin coming back again.
Cool.
And Stefan forget it. I'm not going to try that one. It's Colossus.
That guy.
Yeah.
That's
and
funny.
Then Karan Soni as Dopender's coming back, and then Leslie Uggams as Blind Al, and so yeah, and
Good.
Of course Rob Delaney as Peter.
Okay, just
the
Peter.
The only human member of the X-Force
with no abilities whatsoever. Yes. He's like their mascot, I guess.
Yeah.
They just have to keep him from dying, apparently.
But I'm not sure how that's good. How they have him, because I'm pretty sure he croaked in the last one. So whatever. Magic.
Right. Sure. We've certainly seen that happen in comics enough. Maybe they get a Peter from another dimension.
It could be, yeah.
So, Jonathan Groff
Yes.
is joining Doctor Who, it turns out. So he was in, most recently, Knock at the Cabin. You might have seen him in Glee, Matrix Resurrections, and of course he's been doing voices in the Frozen movies.
Yeah.
You will probably know him most recently and most prominently as King George III in Hamilton,
Yes.
if only for the fact that he tends to drool when he sings.
Yes.
Which is kind of a sad thing to be known for. But he's got a guest role in Doctor Who. Doctor Who is celebrating their 60th year, and as a result, they're pulling out a lot of the stops to do cool things. David Tennant is coming back, along with Catherine Tate, for one of these 60th anniversary things. So, of course, he's super excited to be in Doctor Who. As,
pretty cool.
Honestly, who wouldn't? Come on.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun. He's got
I
that.
know. I'd be, geez, what the heck?
Right?
Yeah.
We would all be excited to be in Doctor Who. You got one more?
Yeah. Sure. How about this one? If you ever, let's see, you saw They Live, was it They Live? They Live. And the old John Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
And
With Roddy Piper.
Yeah, and one of the gals that's in the movie, Meg Foster, is coming back to voice a character that she played live action for way back when they made Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren. She played Evil Lynn.
And Courtney Cox?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's come back as Courtney Cox. Yeah, I don't know. She played Evil Lynn in Revolution. She's coming back to this, but not as Evil Lynn. She's playing what is it now? It's like a robot name or something. It's like Motherboard.
Because that's like a
Bizarre name.
30-year hiatus.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
her character is called Motherboard, Sorceress of Technology or something. And it's for this new it's called Master Universe Revolution, which is the second, I guess, series iteration by Kevin Smith. So, yeah.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'll do one more and then we'll kind of wrap things up.
Yeah,
there's a plea to stop using AI to make Wes Anderson parodies.
Yeah.
Stuart Heritage has written an article for the Guardian newspaper where, and this is an opinion piece. He's very upset because people are using AI to parody Harry Potter and Star Wars and
Lord of the Rings.
And basically in the style of Wes Anderson, while completely missing the point of how a Wes Anderson film is composed. Visually, it has similarities to it, and I've seen these. They're kind of cute, and they all look really weird.
Yes.
And because they're AI, they're like, it's Daniel Radcliffe, but not Daniel Radcliffe, kind of a deal, which is really weird. But anyway, and they also, the guys who made these trailers, teach you how to do it. They have a video that's like, here's how we did it, here's how you can do it. And so he's like pleading, going, please stop doing it, because in reality, there's a lot that goes into a Wes Anderson movie. Yeah. If you like Wes Anderson, this is funny, but it's also kind of sad because you're like, it misses the point. There was, however, a great thing on Saturday Night Live that was a Wes Anderson horror film. That was just like a quick thing that was absolutely great, and they sort of really did get it. And they got real actors to do it. They did whatever. But he says it would be pointless to make an AI parody of Star Wars in the style of, say, James Cameron, because nobody would know what that would even look like.
Exactly.
Wes Anderson has such an identifiable style that it makes it really easy to do it, but it also means that people miss the point on it.
Yeah.
So, my biggest thing with AI is it just seems to keep encroaching deeper and deeper into people's jobs. I saw somebody actually complaining, and this will put us over. I'll tell you what. We'll say our goodbyes, and I'll tell you what this is. You've been listening to Docking Bay 94 on Sci-Fi Radio, Sci-Fi for your Wi-Fi. I'll be doing tomorrow's show at 9 a.m. To wrap up the week. It's the usual music show. You can tune in there. You could be seeing us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. Any of those things. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for donating to our Muppet car thing. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, totally.
And we will do this again next week, hopefully with Colleen.
Yeah,
which will be great. Okay, so the thing that I saw that I thought was really funny, people who do sexy cartoons of things are getting upset because whatever forums they hang out on to show these things off are basically getting overrun with people who are just going to the AI things and typing in prompts to make their stuff. And they're like, that's not real art. Stop it. And they're getting like really upset. And it's hysterical because it's like you're doing like weird cartoon stuff. And it's like, but they're so upset about it. And I saw somebody complaining about it on Facebook, and it completely threw me down this weird rabbit hole of like, why are people doing this to start with? And then secondly was the oh my God, the AI is completely taking over, which just made me laugh really hard. So, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, I know that like a lot of the artwork, you know, I wonder if it's the same with the Wes Anderson stuff. If it's drawing from someone else's work to create it, kind of thing. Like that's what the other one.
It's what they call skimming, and it's been going through and like looking at other pictures and because when they say, you know, it's Bill Murray as Gandalf, it looks enough like Bill Murray that you know they had a source picture somewhere. Yeah. So it's really kind of interesting to see. And then, you know, they're like, it's a stormtrooper. And obviously it has to go through and find stormtroopers as a reference to get even close to it, which is crazy. But this, I know a lot of people who are worried about having their art skimmed for AI. And you can opt out, but only after you find out if you've been skimmed yourself. I think it's and so I'm looking for there's a page that lets you check if you have had your art stolen by AI, and I can't remember. Oh well. Really interesting thing though.
Give the people that next time.
Yeah. Well, and you know, people who do DeviantArt and stuff like that, they put all their art up there, and like DeviantArt started their own thing, and so now they have to go in and go, do not take my stuff, which is really kind of a bummer. So anyway, yeah, a little bit of overtime, Eric. We're not going too long. Jeff's yawning over there.
I am so tired.
What are you doing this weekend?
I let's see here. I'm going to go to Knott's actually this weekend on one of the days.
Cool.
I don't remember which one it is because some folks from out of town are coming down. They're going to go to Knott's. Going to meet them there. I think that's really it that I really have planned because I don't have any events this weekend or anything. So,
I didn't really
other things to work on.
I didn't really sign up for anything. Which was
maybe I'll do like the right thing and work on the projects I have.
Oh, you know what I wanted to say, and I did not bring this up earlier when I should have. I totally wanted to because Kit is working tonight. It was her anniversary of her involvement with this show. She's been doing it for 8 years. And I just wanted to say hey and say thank you. Like the rest of us, she doesn't get paid to do it, and she puts the document together. And actually, the whole Docking Bay 94 like Facebook page is pretty much her. Yeah, she keeps posting funny stuff. So if you're enjoying that, you owe Kit a big thumbs up. Colleen is gonna go visit her mom next week. So she may or may not be on the show next week, too.
Let's see.
And I don't see any... I have a reservation on the 21st at Disneyland for some reason.
There you go. I have, like... Let's see. No, let's see.
So I think that's what we're doing.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I think the graduation, which is next month.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the party thing that we're doing is like on the 10th. So I think the graduation is actually Thursday night before that. So I won't be on.
Oh, okay.
So
that will
Sparrow's graduation.
That will be the 8th of June.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. We'll miss you. But, graduations are important. They don't happen very often. So, radio.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're very grateful to have you guys around over on the radio side. We'll sign off now. Be good people, huh? And I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. If you want to tune in for weird music to wrap out the week, that will be on sci-fi.radio. There's a whole bunch of ways to listen. It tells you right there on the page. So go check that out. See ya.
Good night, kids.
And then you guys over on the video, we will say goodbye to you too. Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all that kind of thing. And let's give you guys some credits. Bye all.
Yeah.